that are tuning in can go back and look up what we've said is going to unfold so that in the future, when we talk about stuff, people need to listen. Now, in a world of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. George Orwell said that, and I agree with him. Ron Paul, playing off that quote, said, in an empire of deceit, telling the truth is treason. It's not a big deal to know you should halt flights. It's not smart to know you should send Ebola patients to level 4 government facilities they've built and spent hundreds of billions on in the last 30 years. It's not rocket science that the Army went in on the East Coast. In fact, pull that clip up, please. In 1989, when Ebola went airborne, PBS reported and cleaned it up. The CDC doesn't even do that. FEMA doesn't even do that. Headline, flashback, Ebola goes airborne, causes outbreak in medical lab. There are defaults. Like you see your neighbor's house on fire. You call 911. They dispatch the fire department to your address. It'd be like you call 911 and go, there's 20-foot flame shooting out of my neighbor's house at the corner of... Please send the fire department. Well, how bad does it look? Well, there's flame coming out the windows, and it's pretty bad. Better send a lot of fire trucks. And then you hang the phone up. Hour later, nobody comes, and the next day you tell the media, yeah, this house burned down, and then it burned down 3 other houses, and the fire department never came. And they go, we don't do that now. And you go, but you're supposed to send a fire truck. That's what we pay for. That's the default. And they go, no, we don't, racist. You're like, but you are supposed to control the border and the airplanes, and that's what all the other African countries did and what Europe did. And shut up, racist. I'm sorry, deranged. The White House said through Media Matters, who they admittedly write the talking points and send it over to them, the White House is spending its time attacking Alex Jones and MSNBC and CBS News are. Don't you idiots love your kids too? I mean, you really are villains. I'm not deranged because I didn't want Ebola to spread. And now, look, it's right here where I live. They're quarantining people right here at the University of Texas, where students yesterday, that was shot yesterday and aired on the nightly news last night, what you heard earlier. 30 students, 17 of them, well, 30 people. The only folks that said no look like professors or UT workers. And one young lady, one student, it looks like, said, no, we shouldn't bring Ebola patients here and house them in our houses and read to them and take them to sporting events. One student, and then it looks like, 12 more UT workers said, are you kidding? But the students were like, yeah, man, it's racist. Bring them in. Because you could tell them anything. Turn your guns in or you're racist. Okay, I'll turn my guns in. Open the borders up or you're racist. Support Obamacare. Well, it has death panels. It was written by insurance companies and doubles prices on average and has 21 taxes, 7 of them on poor people. And it's horrible and it's terrible and it's rationing care. Shut up, racist. See, you don't have to be an intellectual. You don't have to be smart. All you've got to do is just act official and act like you're holy and you're good because you know how to say racist. That's what this country has turned into. That's what we've become. That's what we've degenerated to. Let's go ahead and play this clip from Nova in 1990, 1 year after this happened.
In 1989, Ebola made its way to the U.S. Residents of this Washington, D.C. suburb had no idea that one of the world's deadliest viruses had emerged in their midst. In a primate quarantine unit in Reston, Virginia, monkeys in one of the holding rooms suddenly began to die. Secretly, a military team entered the quarantine unit and killed all 60 monkeys in the infected room. crisis heightened as monkeys began to die in a different room. It appeared that the virus was moving through the ventilating system. In response, the military killed all 400 monkeys, ending the outbreak. This new strain of Ebola had shown the potential to spread through the air. Had it been lethal in humans, it could have been catastrophic.
That's Stacy Keach narrating. And that's why, and by the way, they are selling out as I predicted they would, especially the fake blood-splattered Ebola T-shirts that have now come in. We'll show folks a document cam shot of that. Radio listeners can go to InfoWarsStore.com and wear these proudly. It's the word Ebola with the Obama symbol of the rising sun of death and evil rising over the planet Earth. And it has fake blood splatters on it. And on the back, it says Obola. So on the back, it says Obola. And on the front, it says Ebola. And that one is selling out very quickly. The other one will sell out as well, but not at the same rate. And it's in the made1776.com area, made in America. We have all the Molon Labe men and women's shirts. And all of the belt buckles have sold out, except the George Washington ones. I would have thought I designed all these, that the George Washington ones would be the most popular. They haven't sold out in 6 months, but the Molon Labe belt buckles have sold out. So that's InfoWarsStore.com, made1776.com. We did get in a few thousand bottles more of the Silver Bullet 30 parts per million colloidal silver, the InfoWarsLife.com brand of it, and it is about 80% sold out, so I really shouldn't even plug it. It'll probably sell out in the next hour or two. InfoWarsLife.com. A lot of other folks have doubled or tripled their prices of colloidal silver. It's selling out everywhere. We are holding the price. We are holding the price, though it's costing us more to manufacture now. We have a large amount in transit that's being manufactured right now at a major U.S. laboratory, and it should be here in 2 weeks. But we have this in stock now. InfoWars Life, Silver Bullet, 30 parts per million, colloidal silver. And we have the Survival Shield Super Nation Iodine from a deep earth crystal source, the strongest, purest form out there, not from Pacific seaweed. We have the original Survival Shield as well. That's a lot weaker, more palatable for children. You will, at least everybody I know, will detox within 2 weeks on this, and you will feel it. And then after that, it's like a fog clears for me and everybody else I know that's taking it. I mean, this is not a game. There's a reason they keep lowering the allowance of iodine. That's even the type that isn't even that good in iodine. The reason they don't want you knowing about it literally, but the elites are obsessed with it. We had one of the biggest makers of women's, well, they also make everybody's products, but one of the most famous product producers, very well known, contact where we get it from and then contact us wanting to buy us out. But for hair care products, our source and our contract for the source. And then we said, well, no, we don't want to do that. And so they just kind of disappeared, and I'm sure they're trying to find another source of it. But this is a big deal is what I'm getting at. It's a big deal because nobody's gone out and done this. And this is the type of stuff we're researching, really revolutionary type products. So Survival Shield, Nascent Iodine X2, and Original Survival Shield, available at InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. Also, what I'm doing to bolster my body's natural defenses is 70%, they debate, some say higher, of the autoimmune system is in the gut. A lot of it's in the skin, the mucous membrane as well, of the sinuses, but it's the gut is the big line of defense there and the big buffer. And the intestines get all clogged up. Everybody knows that with all the gluten and the rest of it. The Oxy tablets from Global Healing Center, discounted at InfoWarsLife.com. Well, everybody I know that takes it. In fact, I don't want to put somebody on the spot, but somebody was just telling me yesterday how amazing it's been for him, who I think's out there running the board. I can't see through the window. The lights are so bright. Do you want to talk about what it's done for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is CJ. CJ, you heard me talk about it? They tried to get me to take it for a year. I just said oxygen that Time releases in your intestines? I don't think so. And I'd done other stuff to clean me out before that was pretty harsh and didn't feel well. I had no discomfort. Amazing what happens with it. What happened with you?
I don't really have much cramping or intestinal pain anymore, and feel a lot lighter and healthier, and don't have the urge to go to the bathroom because it does what it says. Without getting into details, it's just been a happier life altogether, just not having intestinal problems.
By the way, if you just try it, folks, you'll be sold. I know that. If you'll just get a bottle of oxy powder. Because I remember years ago being in a major Hollywood star's house in one of their guest bathrooms and seeing it and reading it and thinking, man, that's weird. And I didn't know that group that had famous Hollywood stars, you can look it up, like 6-7 years ago, talk about how'd you get so skinny for this role? And they said oxy powder. He's got it, trademarked, proprietary. It time releases in the intestines. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Dramatic. And that's another thing I'm doing to bolster my body's natural defenses. Oxy powder, InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139.
I did work